Good morning, everyone. And today we're going to be doing top to bottom analysis on Comcast Corporation. And as usual, we'll start by identifying our zones, which are essentially higher level support and resistance level. So this is my monthly zone. We'll start by identifying our zones, which are higher level support and resistance. And then we'll also identify any potential trend line. We'll also identify our trend line. Then we'll go down to the weekly time frame to identify our zones and our trend lines. And then we'll go down to the daily time frame as well to also identify our zones and our trend lines. So we can draw a trend line from here. This will be my monthly trend line. And then this will be my all-time high. This is the highest point that price has gotten to. So this will be my all-time high. Okay, so now we've switched on to the weekly time frame. We're doing the same thing. We're identifying our zones, our regions of support and resistance. These are my weekly zones. Okay, so these are my weekly zones. Let's see if there are any trend lines that we can draw. We can draw a trend line from here across like this, or we can draw a trend line from here across like this. Let's delete this one. Among these trend lines, none of them is particularly more relevant than the other, but I'll just choose to keep the one with the two most recent peaks. I'll just choose to keep those ones since they're closer to the most recent price action, which is what I want to be. I want to be closer to the most recent price action. Okay, so now we've gone down to the daily time frame. So the next thing we'll do is to identify our zones, our daily zones, our daily trend lines, and then also our trend origin. That's a daily zone. I'm sure I can draw a trend line. Okay, we have a trend line like this. This will be my daily trend line. And then this will obviously be my trend origin. Now that we've identified our trend origin, the next thing to do is to identify our market structure. Price went like this: impulsive, correctional, impulsive, correctional, impulsive, correctional, impulsive, correctional, impulsive, correctional, impulsive, followed by correctional. So I should be expecting a new impulsive. So let's identify our lower highs. This is a downtrend, and the rules of the downtrend state that price will continue to be in a downtrend. So far, price keeps breaking lows and not highs, and so far, price has continued to break lows and has not broken a single high. So price is clearly in a downtrend. Price is clearly in a downtrend, and price is also in a correctional phase. Let's identify this before. So price is in a downtrend, and price is also in a correctional phase. So what does the fact that price is in a correctional phase tell me? Typically, I prefer to wait for price to enter a correctional phase before planning a trade, because if I can figure out the exact point where price will start the new impulsive move, then I'll be able to jump in on the trade and catch the entire impulsive move. So since price is currently, okay, I should actually delete this one. So since price is currently in a correctional phase, I'm going to go back to all the blue lines, which is here, 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 and here, and see if there's any specific price pattern that is printed out. So any price pattern that's printed out there is essentially a price pattern that appears whenever price switches from a correctional move to an impulsive, to a bearish impulsive move. Using my line chart, I can see a small M pattern here, but I don't see anything here. Using my line charts, this looks like a big M pattern. Okay, we actually have a small M pattern here inside, and then this also looks like a big M pattern. Using my line charts here, I can see, I want to call it an M pattern, but it's more like progressively lower lows, because I can also draw a trend line across this point, and you can see that each of these peaks, the trend line can be drawn across each of these peaks. Well, I think I can actually okay, so here you see that we have a slanted range here. An M pattern does appear, but you can also see a slanted range. Checking here, we can also see a tiny M pattern around here, but a range seems to be more fitting. So as long as price does not form an M pattern or enter a range, okay, no, sorry. Right now we are waiting for price to either form an M pattern or to form a range. Right now, either wait for price to form an M pattern or to form a range. Right now, either wait for price to form an M pattern or to form a range, maybe even a slanted range. Something like this. Anyways, we are planning to go short on this, at least to here.